All right. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of The Kingdom of the Kael Isles. Yes, this is my custom D&D campaign, where people that weren't smart enough to come up with better excuses for their time decide to play in a D&D game of my creation. And hopefully have fun as I attempt to kill them with things like beholder zombies, which was just plain fun. Uh, to bring people up to speed on what's been happening recently, lots of stuff happened, and then they ended up on an island with a bunch of dead people. They found out one of the dead people was Avok's brother. They went to investigate why these dead people were not as dead as they really should be, and discovered that the dead people were under control by this dude named Corin, who had also done weird, crazy magic things to this girl named Song, who joined them on their adventures. After freeing some of these dead people that aren't dead enough from control, they went to a tower affectionately called the Web Tower and blew it up for reasons, and had a really cool, like, Mission Impossible style ending where they ran away from an exploding building. Like, it was really cool. And then they went in and saved Avok's brother in this place called the Citadel. And then last week, they were told by Corin that bad things were going to happen to their new friends if they didn't do what he told them to. They didn't do what he told them to. It's been a long day, folks. And yeah, decided to confront Corin. As they went into Corin's kind of keep to figure out exactly what was going on, Corin revealed that he had something nefarious planned and hit a gong, and they all fell into a refuse pit that had a beholder zombie. And it was friggin' awesome if it hadn't been for the fact that they killed him after like a turn and a half. Would have been a lot cooler if it had lived longer. But whatever. Where it's fine. You know, if that's the way they want to do it, this is fine. Anyway, they found out that the beholder zombie that they fought was the same kind of creature that was unleashed upon their allies. They have no idea what's happened to them, but they did take the time to take a long rest because most of them were mostly dead. And now they've been sleeping on the stairs. A couple of them had nightmares about large creatures with, googly eyes. That was also hilarious. And yeah, now they are, coming to. So you guys were able to successfully complete a long rest. So most of your stuff is back. You get half of your healing dice back if you used more than half of them. Everything else is reset. You guys, as much as you did get a long rest, you're not feeling particularly restful, simply because you were sleeping on hard ground. You weren't really able to make a very good camp or anything like that. You were sleeping on stairs, basically. So yeah, you guys got those little pains and stuff in your backs. You're overall okay, but you're just not feeling all that great right now.
I'm used to it.
So
Other than Elaine, who used to sleep in very awkward positions.
I slept in shit.
Me and Avok
I guess
cry.
Fade would be the only one that isn't really used to, roughing it, isn't it?
Yeah, I hate this place.
So, again, you guys are about halfway up these stairs that kind of loop around the outside of this very large room. What would you guys like to do?
Keep going up. Let's see. We need to get the corn quick before he retakes your brother.
Yeah, before we wasted enough time.
Okay. So you guys head up to where the top of the stairs are, and you get to what kind of looks like a dead end. As you guys look at it a little bit closer, it becomes fairly obvious you guys have come to the bottom part of a trapdoor, or like a hatch that's designed to facilitate travel from where you guys were to the room that you were previously in the main area of the keep. From where you are, you don't really see any locks or anything that would, prevent it from opening. What would you like to do?
Just gonna push it open.
It is relatively heavy. As you lift it, you realize the reason that it's relatively heavy is it's actually made of the same stone that makes up the floor of the keep that you guys were standing on, and it's pretty massive. We're talking about probably like a 6-inch thick stone hatch. So, Avok, I'm going to need a strength check from you. Do you
I figured. Alrighty. Straight up strength.
Go ahead and use athletics.
Alrighty. Sweet. Alright. It's going to be a 16.
16. All right. You have very little difficulty, lifting it up. You do feel a little bit of burn in your muscles after you're done with it, but you're able to open up. As you go into the room that you guys have been before, it's very different from the last time you were in it. As you look around, what used to look just incredibly extravagant, tapestries on the walls, gold and silver everywhere. As you come up, everything looks much more dingy. You can see everything looks much more worn. What looked like gold before now looks like brass. The pieces of silver just look like tarnished metal. Everything about the room just does not look nearly as fine. As you look around, the floor coverings and things like that, which were pristine before, now seem to be much older. They look like they're very well worn, have not been upkept in years, if not decades. As you look back towards the portcullis that you guys came from, looking to see hopefully the body of your brother, there is nothing there.
Motherfucker!
Tell us how you really feel.
That make you feel angry.
Yeah, I slam my fist against the wall.
Okay. As you do that, the impact, your strength very, very well from having used it over and over and over again. As you hit the wall, part of it crumbles. And that to you is very different. Like you find that very, very weird. Because you don't think you hit it that hard. Like, you hit it hard, but this is a stone wall, and part of it kind of crumbled away. Not, like a hole or anything, but just a little bit of the finish just crumbled off.
I think he needs to hire a new housekeeper.
Perhaps you can give him suggestions.
I can do it. With fire.
Burn it all to the ground.
That's the plan.
So, your brother is not where you left him, but you left him probably close to around 9 hours ago, because you guys did take a full rest. So, it's not particularly shocking that he wouldn't be there. It would be very much bizarre for an unconscious body to just lie there for 9 hours, even with how exhausted your brother was.
Okay. You gotta get moving. God only knows what the hell is going on.
So, again, this room, you can exit back out the way you came and try to meet up with your allies way back at the graveyard. or the room itself has those double staircases and a landing, and then further staircases that go up to kind of a balcony that goes around the outside on the second level of this very large room. There's a big set of double doors at the landing itself, and then you can see on the upper balcony, it looks like another 6 doors in various places along this balcony that go to different areas of this relatively massive keep. What would you guys like to do?
Well, I'm running up the stairs.
Okay.
I'm following.
All right.
I guess I'll go after him.
So
Can't
Avok
exactly
is
leave
leading
him
the party
alone.
at the moment. As you get to the top of the landing, Fade, go ahead and make me an Arcana check.
Uh, 3 plus 5, 8.
Oh,
Yep, you notice nothing.
Yeah.
So you get to the top. There are 2 big doors in front of you, and then there are stairs on either side that lead up to, like I said, a balcony on the second floor. That goes basically like the whole circumference except for the back wall, because the back wall is just a giant tunnel.
So it's double doors and then stairs by double
Yep.
doors. Do we want to bust through those doors?
I don't see any reason not to.
I mean, he knows we're here.
Just break through the doors, because that's the way to do it.
I'm kicking the doors open.
All right, make me an athletics check.
That is 22.
22. So as your boots contacts with the door, you feel kind of a shock go up your leg. Not really from a magical effect, but these doors, compared to the rest of the room, are significantly stronger than you were expecting, and you were not expecting the resistance that you made. As you kick into it, nothing budges. It's like you've just kicked a mountain.
Elaine, could you please?
I would like to just check to see if the door's locked.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. Ooh, that's good. It's 21.
As you look through it, you actually don't see any sort of locking mechanism beyond the latch that would be used to kind of keep the door shut when it was supposed to be shut. Nothing that would indicate exactly why this door is as impossible to open for Avok as you think. As you're kind of examining it, from behind you, you feel the hair on the back of your neck stand up on end, and Avok, since you're a little bit further back, you hear kind of a whirring, humming sound from right behind you, and as you turn around to look, you look directly into the face of Corin, who is standing there going, "Well, this is certainly a surprise. I thought I had gotten rid of you. Well,
You're an idiot.
obviously I didn't send quite enough playthings for you. Well, it matters not. I've gotten what it is that I want, and you're no longer useful to me, so..."
Give him back!
You know, it's so interesting to see how animals react when you take their favorite things from them.
You
know,
want to
it's
see an
just-
animal react?
I find it rather humorous that you think that you can do anything to me. The doors that you are so futilely attempting to open are sealed shut. I have no reason to open them for the likes of you. and you do not have the arcane knowledge to dispel my magic. For all intensive purposes, I've locked you out. I have what I wanted. And while, yes, you have put a bit of a delay in my research, I'm certain that with enough time I can make up for the little bits of annoyance you have given me. So, well done. You've succeeded in killing an entire race, to be perfectly honest, based on your bad decisions. Well done with that. And now I simply have no more time to waste on such frivolities. So if you will excuse me, I will go back to my work. Goodbye.
Get back here, you pansy!
And the image kind of flickers into nothingness.
God, I hate that fucking guy.
Fade. Think you'll be able to do something about this door?
Can I just investigate it, see what kind of spell he has on this?
Yep, that would be, you can use Arcana for it.
Nat 20.
So as you look into this and try and figure out exactly what it is, it looks like kind of a modified version of a globe of invulnerability that is specifically tailored to reinforce this door against any sort of entry. Especially with the Nat 20, you are very familiar with the fact that Globe of Invulnerability is a relatively high-level spell. And it would take someone very, very talented, a very, very talented magic user to be able to modify it in a way that it could work this way. However, as you look at it closer, you start to realize that this isn't pure magic. You can see what to you seems kind of like something very similar to the devices you destroyed back in the Citadel that were used to amplify magic.
Okay.
Kind of woven into the fabric of this door. Part of the thing that makes the spell work is these devices. So as much as it is arcane in nature, without these devices, the magic wouldn't exist. So it's not so much a very powerful wizard cast a spell on it. It's someone that's very knowledgeable with magical items and infusing mundane objects with magic turned on a switch. You know, it's an arcane device.
Well, okay. Can I try to tinker? See if there's some kind of power supply I can cut or block, maybe?
From where you are right now, the invulnerability extends beyond you. Like, you can look through it because it doesn't... it's not like a visible wall of force. But the invulnerability blocks you from being able to tamper with the mechanisms from this side at all.
My knowledge of magic and arcane and divine magic and everything, can I discern if a dispel magic would have an effect on the door?
It's very possible. Dispel magic is a very powerful spell, and it disrupts just about everything depending on how it's cast. It can affect things like the Globe of Invulnerability spell and other things like that.
I think I have to. I'm going to burn one of my 2 third-level spell slots and cast a spell magic on the door.
All right. So you guys see him clutch his holy symbol, and that again, that very dark indigo glow kind of flows through him and goes into this door, and you see the door itself start to grow very, very dark, and you can see a very visual representation of this field, and it looks like just a giant shield in the shape of the door, and then you see him concentrate harder on it. You can see the shield itself. There's a very bright black crack that goes through the shield, and then another one, and eventually it shatters.
Sweet.
I do need all three of you to make dexterity saving throws.
Uh-oh.
It's not bad. 18.
All right.
18.
Cool.
22.
Wow. So as this happens, Fade, you're concentrating on it, and you're concentrating on this door and everything. You see the crack, shatter, and as it's about to shatter, you realize that the devices that were kind of sustaining and making this door possible, when you cast the Dispel Magic on them and it interrupted them, it damaged them to the point that they self-destructed. And you very quickly just take a jump back, and Avok and Elaine, as soon as you see him just hop back, you guys realize something bad's about to happen, and you follow suit. You see an explosion happen in front of you, and actually only take nothing because I rolled a 1. And half of 1 rounded down is nothing. So yeah, you guys leap back and you see this small explosion of magical energy, powerful enough to shatter the door that was being protected. As the dust settles and everything, you guys can see like sparks and arcane energy kind of flowing out of what looks like small pieces of thin metal that are working kind of like currents or a circulatory system that were letting the magical energy flow to this door. And so you can see little bits of arcane magic and sparks and things shooting out for a little bit until the whole thing kind of dies down.
So as I see this happen, can I...
Mm-hmm.
I understand they're broken, they're not going to work, but can I take some of these components for these things? I mean, obviously I'm interested in figuring out how this guy's working.
They're definitely broken, but they broke in a lot of different ways. Go ahead and make, let's just call it an investigation check. Go ahead and make an investigation check. See what you can find.
9 plus a lot. 15.
So as you sit there and you kind of go through the rubble and stuff like that, you get a relatively large pile of components of this magical device. You haven't seen something like this, even in the Platinum City, where magic items are used to keep the upper city floating and all these other things. You've never seen something quite like this. This is new tech for you.
Okay.
Now that the door is no longer, you guys look down and you see a relatively like 15-foot high hallway that goes down. You can see on either side of this hallway, the hallway itself, which is about 10, 15 feet wide, again, relatively large. You can see there are a very sinister look to them. There's a lot of curves and wicked-looking things, whether it's spears or swords. The helmets of all the armor have horns on them, and the shape of the face itself tends to have just very grim-looking visages instead of what you generally see with armor, just like your standard visor type thing. The whole thing looks relatively sinister, and in between these armors you can see these long red draperies that have moth holes in them. They're this very deep, dark red, but they look like they haven't really been upkept in forever. Every so often you'll see a small spider web, nothing like what you saw in the web towers, more likely than not made by a mundane spider. But the whole room just looks off. And it continues for a long time. There's no light in this particular area. So the hallway itself continues longer than your vision can see in the dark.
As I gather up these parts from the ground, I grab my holy symbol again, and I cast light on my shield.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also throw up a detect magic.
All right.
Because I'm looking to see which, if any of these suits of armor are going to come alive and kill us again.
Good
afraid of
idea.
It's like we know the song and dance.
As you look around, you did detect magic, and what was the other thing that you did?
Light, just so
Light,
Ava
okay,
can
yeah.
see.
So as you look down, again, the light only goes for about 60 feet, and then it kind of goes into darkness. The hallway itself is much longer. As you look at the armors, you're starting to notice something very, very bizarre about everything now. The first time you came in here, there was just a pervasive feeling of magic everywhere. Now, however, the exact opposite extreme, where magic is everywhere. The fade, or the weave, goes through just about everything. And you can always kind of sense little areas where magic has congealed or had a more delicate focus. Here, it almost seems like the fade is non-existent. Other than as you kind of look around with your, because it's what, 30 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, 30 feet. Okay. So as you look in, you can see in some of the walls, you can see these kind of veins or currents of power that are now dormant, but still hold some of that former magical energy. Other than that, you don't sense magic here. You don't see anything. It's very, very weird.
I look at Elaine and Avok, and I'm assuming this is what's going on, guys. But I think he's drawing power from his whole place. He's trying to do something big. You need to. I don't know where, but it isn't here.
Whatever. Let's just go forward and kill the fucker.
I don't hold him back.
Okay. So, Avok, you cannot see in the dark, correct?
He has his light shield on, right?
Yep.
So
I'll
the
follow
reason
him.
I'm asking is if you
Right,
go ahead of him.
right, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, just making sure everyone knew. So as you continue down this hallway, Fade, you continue looking, and you can see these paths of magic. As you get further in, you start seeing that not all of them are as dead as the ones that you just broke. You can see a few live ones, like in the ceiling. You'll see like a part of one that disappears because it goes outside of your detect magic range every so often. But these magical currents or circuits seem to be a part of this castle. And they don't seem to be an original part of this castle. Like, even when you were taking them out, it's obvious that they were added in later. But beyond that, you're still not getting any magic. And you guys go about 50 feet in. Nothing. Still no magic. Still no end to this hallway, which is very, very bizarre. You go about 100 feet in, and you come to a T intersection. Still no sound. You can still see these very demonic looking sets of armor and things like that. Because you guys are going at a relatively steady pace, it's taking you a couple of minutes to get this far without just like blindly running through everything. So you've got, choice of left or right. Looking down both ways, the suits of armor in these two hallways that it splits into are much more widespread. You only see one every like 10, 15 feet as opposed to one every like 2 or 3 feet. Beyond that, they both continue in both directions further than your light carries.
Well, we can't split up.
Let's see.
As you guys are kind of standing there trying to figure out what's going on, you start to hear a very haunting melody. You can't really pinpoint it at first, but you guys notice as you look back at Song, who's been very quiet through this entire ordeal. You look at Song, and she is... her entire mannerisms have changed. Where she used to be this very strong, brash, very confident young woman, she's now kind of looking around. She looks a little bit scared. You can see fear in her eyes. And she seems to not even be paying attention to you guys right now as she starts walking down the left hallway.
Wait, where the?
I'm gonna follow her.
Okay. You guys notice that as she walks, the music itself starts getting louder. And you guys can tell that you must be heading towards the source of this music. As you go a little bit further, you start seeing that this particular part of the keep has many, many hallways that are lined with doors. You don't know if they are designed to be like cells or just rooms or whatever, but it's almost maze-like, this portion of the castle. And she doesn't hesitate. Anytime she goes down, she will just walk at a relatively brisk pace, not running or anything, but she doesn't stop. She immediately turns, like she'll take a left here and she'll take a right here. Very, without stopping, without hesitating, anything. She just keeps walking. What would you guys like to do?
Keep
Okay.
following her.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's gotten weird.
Than normal.
Weirder than
She keeps going, and Avok, you especially, since you've had to navigate yourself through places where you couldn't really tell where it was you're going, you get a rough idea that you're heading towards the southeast corner of the keep. Because the directions that she turns, they keep you in a general southwest direction, bringing you back actually towards in this similar direction to the keep that you or the portcullis room that you came from, just significantly further west from there. So as you guys are going, she eventually gets to another set of double doors. These are only about 10 feet high compared to the other ones that have been like 15 or 20 feet high, some of them as high as 30 feet. These are just standard, 10-foot high doors. And the doors themselves are elaborately carved. You can see some flames in the woodwork. The handles themselves have a very fire motif to them. And you can see that the door itself is actually two completely solid pieces of some kind of red wood that you've never seen before. But they were carved completely out of one piece of wood. They were not pieced together or anything like that, meaning they must have been carved from a very large tree. And the detail work is absolutely exquisite. Probably one of the nicest sets of doors you have ever seen. Even Fade, with the fact that you've been around immaculants and money, this is impressive. So as you guys get to this door, you notice that Song has stopped moving. And you guys can tell that the music is coming from behind this door.
Let's check the door for traps.
Roll me an investigation check.
19.
As you look at it, you don't see any traps. You do see a locking mechanism that is currently not in use.
You open the door.
The doors open very easily. Like they're very, very well made, and they just open inwards. As you open it, you can see Song starts to walk forward, almost possessed. You can see the room itself. It's very immaculate, very similar to the room that you guys originally fought the animated armor in, where you can see a four-post bed in there that's very, very, very nice. You can see some wardrobes and things, a small vanity, all of it immaculate, all of it very much unkempt and unused for a very, very long time. And you can see on a small footstool or chest or something in front of the bed, you can't really tell, you can see this box, very elaborate, made out of gold. It's got a few precious gems in it, and it's opened, and the music is coming from this box. And Song, again, as if possessed, just continues walking forward to this box.
Can I try to
Can I
quick
stop
close it?
her?
I had three people talk at once.
Can I stop her? grab her and
Sure,
stop
go
her?
ahead and make an acrobatics check for me.
20.
So you reach out and you grab her arm very quickly, faster than even you thought was possible. You're relatively impressed with your speed here. You grab out and you grab her hand and her arm and attempt to stop her, and nothing happens. She doesn't really stop moving, other than the fact that she's no longer making forward progress. She's not pulling against you relatively hard or anything like that, but she keeps trying to walk forward, and her feet are scraping against the ground, and she just keeps trying to get closer. Fade, you had something you wanted to do.
Yeah, take the blade of my longsword and try to close the thing.
Okay. As you get close to it, and you bring your longsword out, and you get close to the point where you could try to close it, you are suddenly startled by a voice from behind you that goes, "Very sorry, but I must ask you not to do that." And behind you, you see a woman, a very unique looking woman. She has very pale skin, white hair, and you can see she has these small horns coming out of her head, very similar to Song's. And you can see the small hints of a tail kind of swishing behind her. Her figure itself is very almost frail. She is wearing these kind of flowing robes, almost sanguine in their color, very dark red. And she turns to you and goes, "Please, please don't stop. Please don't close it."
Why?
"Well, I like that song, and so does she. Can't you see?"
Okay, this is really, really creepy all of a sudden.
I just try to close it.
Fade. Yeah, Fade, close it. This is just weird now.
So as you close it, the song eventually stops, and you notice that Song starts to blink a little bit, but she still seems very much out of it. And the woman that just spoke to you goes, "Why did you do that? I asked you not to. I felt that I was being very polite."
He told me to close it.
And so she
Shit.
turns to Avok and goes, "Why? Do you not like the music? It was very beautiful, wasn't it?"
Can I like insight check her?
Go for it. Go for it.
Well, to be honest, I have a different taste in music, and that was just not doing it for me.
12.
I will have you make it with disadvantage.
Okay.
Simply because she is very different from the people you've known.
12.
Wow, that's impressive.
It was either 19 or 12.
As you kind of look her up and down, she hasn't said anything that you can tell is a lie. Again, she seems very different from anyone you've ever met before. Even Song, whom she physically resembles in certain aspects. But nothing she says thus far seems to have any sinister intent. She seems actually very interested in finding out why it is that you guys closed the music box.
What's your name?
My name's not important.
It is to me.
What's important is why I'm here. And as you guys kind of look at her exactly the way you're looking at me, she turns to Song, who's just now started to turn around and look at you guys, and she goes, "I know you must be very confused, but I'm here to help you. I'm here to take you home. You can leave this horrid place and come with me where you'll be safe." And she reaches out her hand. She goes, "Come with me. It's okay. I know you. I've known you for a very long time, and it's time for you to go home."
Okay, I'm getting really irritated with this.
I'd start brandishing my great axe.
Why don't you start telling us what the fuck you're even trying to do? Because I'm having a hard time believing you're here to help us.
And give me a couple seconds here.
I was going to say take her hand. She tried to reach out for Song.
I'm not letting go of Song.
Never let go.
So, the creature itself, or the woman itself, I'm an awesome DM. The woman herself turns to Avok as you brandish your war axe, and she goes, "Why are you so angry? You know me. I am your friend. We've known each other for a long, long time. Don't you remember?" And Avok, I need a wisdom saving throw from you.
Fuck, what's my wisdom? Okay, this will be interesting. 13?
So as she speaks this, you feel a wave of relief rush over you, and you instantly recognize her. You've known her forever. She is one of your closest friends. She's been with you since you were a child. You have very specific memories of you, her, and your brother going out and finding things. She, as you look at her, you realize that on her shoulder you can see the brand that you and your brother share. And you remember her surviving that final battle with you. And you also remember that she was the one that nursed you back to health. She was the one that helped you to escape the ship. You trust her implicitly.
Damn charms. This is going to be fun
And so-
role playing.
As she does that, she goes, "Why don't you stop aiming that axe at me and use that for a more effective use. Turn around, and you feel this incredible compulsion to do exactly what she says. And so you do, and you turn around, and you face
Okay.
Elaine and Fade. And she goes, "These two are not your friends. They tried to convince you to hurt me."
Yeah, you're right.
"You should stop them. They want you to hurt me."
Okay, get the fuck out of here, you little fuckers.
You guys now see Avok looks very bizarre. Something about him is not right. His eyes aren't focusing quite right. But he has his new axe brandished and ready, and he's pointing it at you guys.
Oh. Oh. Avok. She's lying to you. You need to step out of it, man. We're here to find your brother. We're here to get rid of Corin. She's lying to you.
She's my friend. She would never lie to me.
She's lying. Hey, Faye. Can you do anything? Oh, God.
Sacred flame on Avok.
Avok, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. That's a 19.
So, Avok, you see Fade clutch his holy symbol, and you see this dark indigo plume of flame come down and hit the spot that you were standing in moments before. As you jump away, you feel an arm, a hand on your arm, and you realize that your friend, whom you have known forever, has pulled you out of the way of this attack on your life. And she turns to you and she's like, "See? They want to kill you. I want you to kill them now."
Nobody's gonna kill me today.
That wasn't exactly what I wanted, Faye, but okay.
I need everyone to roll for initiative.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Well, I'm rolling like I normally do.
Good.
Yeah, you guys are probably real happy about that.
I'm
All
rolling
right.
like I normally do.
Avok, what you got?
13.
Elaine.
Math. Hold on.
Math. Math is not a number. Fade.
9.
26.
What'd you get, Elaine?
26.
Holy shit.
I have alert.
Damn. So you guys realize that Avok is not kidding. Avok is 100% convinced that you guys are trying to kill him, and he's going to stop all of you from doing that. As
You
this
will
happens,
try.
you see the creature behind Avok starts to change visibly. You start noticing that before, where only there was a tail, you can see demonic-looking wings spread out. You can see the horns that before were very soft are now pointed and more sinister. You can see that the robes themselves have started to fade into this dark black armor. Scale mail. And the creature itself is wielding a very wicked-looking spear. Elaine, you are up first. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna charge at that creature.
Okay, to get to the creature, you're going to have to go past Avok.
You disengage past Avok and go for the
Okay.
creature.
Avok, you see Elaine rush past you faster than you think is possible, going after your friend, whom to you still looks like the frail young woman in the red robes. Elaine, what would you like to do?
I want to stab her.
All right, make me an attack roll.
Oh god, I dropped my dice. Oh. Math. 12.
12. You come up with dagger, right?
Yeah.
Yep, your dagger, and it clinks off of the scale mail, doing no damage, and the creature just sits there, grins at you.
I grin back. And that's it. Because I had to disengage. That was my bonus action, wasn't it?
All right. Next up is Avok. Avok, Elaine has just attempted to what looks like kill your friend. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna attack Elaine twice.
I did no such thing.
It's a lie! It's a lie!
I was just trying to fist bump her with my dagger.
It's a 16.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
All right. Go ahead and make your
All right.
Constitution save as the axe rips into you.
Oh, joy.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Yep, that thing. Constitution,
Mm-hmm.
13.
All right. Avok, what was the damage?
Not that much. Hang on. That's hang on. 4 plus. That's 8 damage.
8 damage. So you take 8 damage, but the axe itself does not rip away enough of your flesh to open a deep wound. Avok, I believe you have another attack.
I do.
Yes.
Oh fuck. I'm sorry, Elaine. I know it. I rolled a 17 plus whatever, and I know I hit you.
Hits.
All right. That's another Constitution save for you, Elaine.
Oh, 3.
All right. Avok, how much damage did you do?
Not much, I hope. Oh, damn it.
Well, I'm gonna uncanny dodge at that response.
13.
Okay, so that drops it down to 6.
Okay.
And as the axe pulls away, it leaves a deep wound that is bleeding freely, much freer than you think it really should. And you are now bleeding out, and will take damage at the start of your next turn.
Yay.
Anything else you want to do, Avok?
Just step in between Elaine and my new friend, apparently.
You can't really get in between them because he's right. Like, you can get next to him. You can't really get in between them, unfortunately, because he's like right on top of her.
All right. Well, either way, like
Okay.
just get close enough that.
No.
Yeah. Elaine's got other things to worry about.
Fade. What would you like to do?
I would like to attempt to dispel this magical spell.
Okay.
Please do.
If it's 3rd level or lower, it ends. If it's 4th or higher, we have to do stuff.
Mm-hmm. As you sit there and you concentrate the dispel magic specifically on Avok, nothing happens.
Sweet.
Whatever has caused this does not seem to be magical in nature.
Then I charge at Avok yelling. That's my movement, and that's it.
Okay. The creature itself, takes its spear out and thrusts at Elaine twice, seeing as you're the only one that's attempted to hit it. Uh, 24 is the first one.
No, that doesn't hit.
How's an 11 sound? Does 11 hit?
Yeah, that one definitely doesn't hit.
Okay, I need this. So you take 9 piercing damage and 4 fire damage as the spear itself, as it pierces you, bursts into flame.
Oh, I'm bleeding and I'm on fire.
That brings us back up to Elaine. As you bleed out,
Oh no.
You take 2 points of necrotic damage. What would you like to do?
And you said 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. Jesus Christ. That was a terrible decision. I'm gonna disengage again and back away from them.
Okay.
Can I like... You said I'm on fire?
No, you just took fire damage.
Okay.
You're not burning currently.
Okay.
The spirit self has fire infused into it.
There's nothing I can do about the bleeding.
Sure, if you want to try and stop the bleeding, it's technically magical in nature. But if you want to roll a heal check on yourself, you could attempt to stop the bleeding. The way the magic weapon works, which Avok already knows, is once you fail a save, it lasts for 2 rounds, and then you stop bleeding. So you would be saving 1 round. And if he hits you again, it'll start again. So it's up to you if you want to use your action for that.
Crap, this is bad. Yeah, I'm gonna stop the bleeding. I'll try to.
All right, go ahead and make me a medicine check.
19.
It stopped. The bandages that you're using, you're basically tearing strips of your clothing to try and stop the bleeding. They soak almost immediately with your blood. But you pack them in tight enough that it doesn't seem like any more blood is leaking out.
Okay.
That brings us to Avok. Elaine has moved far enough away that you can't reach him. But Fade is right next to you and screaming for some bizarre reason.
I'm gonna attack Fade twice.
All right.
Oh, God. 18 plus 8, 26.
Stop rolling well, please.
I can't help that.
You gotta be angry.
It could be worse.
Fade, Constitution save, please.
Nope.
Oh,
You
man.
are now bleeding. Avok, how much damage did you do?
9.
9 damage to Fade. Avok, I believe you have a second attack.
I do. Oh my god, no, no, no.
Is that a crit?
Yeah. So,
I'm
Roll
sorry.
damage. Fade, you don't have to roll a con save because you can't bleed more.
Fuck. Ouch. 18, 19 plus 4. 23 damage.
So Fade, Avok comes around with his first strike and hits you, and you start to bleed pretty heavily. His second one comes around and rips into your armor itself. You can feel bones crack underneath the weight of it, and as it pulls away, it leaves another deep, bloody gash.
Sweet.
That takes us to Fade. What would you like to do, Fade?
I will
You seem
command.
upset.
No. I'm going to try and command Avok to awake.
okay.
So you're using the command spell?
Yeah.
Okay, and the command that you're giving him is awake.
Awaken.
Okay.
You're my friend.
Oh dear god, I think I know how this is gonna end either way.
Avok, roll a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage.
Okay. 4 plus 5. Who's giving? That's what I. Oh fuck.
So Fade sits there, and you can feel magic start to mess with your mind, and you instantly get this idea that somehow you're asleep and you should be waking up. But you kind of shake it off as you think, no, I'm awake. I've got my really awesome axe, and I'm killing things. Like, that's kind of what I do. No, he's crazy. Anything else you want to do with your turn, Fade?
I'm going to try to convince him that she's lying to you.
All right. So as he sits there and he keeps going, she's lying, she's horrible, look, she's got wings. How many girls that are really awesome, and you kind of turn over to Song and go, obviously, present company excluded, and then turn back to him. But I mean, how many winged ladies are really all that great? Let's be honest here. And she's got horns and everything. She's real bad.
Oh yeah, and as I say that to Song, I say, hey, do something.
She seems almost paralyzed in fear right now.
In other words, you don't have her character sheet.
I could look up her character sheet, but that would change the balance of
That's
the fight.
right. It's on Roll20.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. It's one of the things I like about Roll20, but no, she right now is just kind of transfixed in everything. Even with the music stopped, something about what's going on here has affected her greatly. Avok, he's talking crazy.
I'm done.
You don't understand why he suddenly has this big issue with someone that has saved all of your lives countless times. He must just be jealous. So the woman kind of leans down and whispers into your ear, Avok, look at what they're doing. Look at what they're attempting to do to me. Doesn't that make you angry?
Oh, God.
Don't do that to me.
You should be angry right now. And you feel a compulsion to break into a rage.
Fuck!
Elaine, what would you like to do?
I like to rock back and forth in a corner and cry. Because, not gonna lie, I'm at 3 HP.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I should probably roll your
No!
bleeding stopped. Bleeding stopped. Never mind.
Right, stop that.
So Avok is in front of you. Obviously, the magic that has been tried thus far has had no effect on bringing him back to his senses. You can try other means of getting his attention if you would like. You do get the idea that he's probably going to kill both of you if you don't do something to stop him.
Oh yeah, we're fully aware. Except he's just made of hit points. And also raging now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be raging once it's my turn.
Yeah, he's not raged yet. He can't go into a rage unless it's his turn.
Oh, okay. So, there's just the door, and they're standing in it.
Yep.
There's no other way out of this room right now.
There's a window in the back
Oh,
wall.
we're not trying that.
You do know, you think you're probably relatively close to the ground level. You don't know if there's like cliffs or anything that this castle was built on. You haven't seen this side of the castle.
God. This is terrible.
What would you like to do? Time's a ticking.
I'm gonna move toward the window.
Okay.
And, kind of look at it. Look out the window. See what...
Sure. You can see the ground outside the window. It's got grass and, kind of that dead-looking grass that you saw before. You can see about 20 feet away from the window is a tree line. You can't really tell what's beyond the tree line because it's remarkably thick forest, like very high underbrush, relatively closely spaced trees. It would not be enjoyable to have to navigate through that quickly.
Better than getting slashed apart by a barbarian. So...
It's theoretically possible.
Oh, Frick, this is terrible. I'm gonna take out my crossbow.
Okay.
And am I able to see what's her name? What's her face?
Yeah.
Can I take a shot at her?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh my god! No.
You rolled well then.
Yeah.
What'd you roll?
3 plus 2.
Chung!
5.
Sticks into the door. You're actually a little bit upset that you have now marred what once was a beautiful door.
I don't care about the door. I'm gonna burn it down. No.
Well, anyone that cares about fine architecture would be upset.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to do with your turn? I think you still have a bonus action.
Oh, I do. Do I still have enough movement?
The room itself is not incredibly large. You're looking at like a, 30 by 30 foot room. So you've used probably about half your movement to get to where you are.
I want to jump out the window.
Okay. The window itself is not incredibly difficult to open. You're able to open it out, hop out. Again, outside, the clouds itself from yesterday that were storming so badly are still there. It's very overcast, very gloomy looking. It seems like a torrential downpour could start at any moment, but it hasn't yet. So
can
yeah.
I still use my... I can hide with cunning action.
Yes, you can.
Can I hide?
Go for it. All it takes is you step, 5 feet to the left and you break line of sight of everybody.
Stealth. 15.
You think you're stealth.
I think I am. I'm gonna cry now.
You can no longer see anyone in the room because you had to hide behind a wall, but
They can't see me either.
that is very true. Unless someone can see through walls somehow.
Oh god.
Avok, you're up.
Shit.
Get pissed.
Yep, I'm raging.
All right. You feel your blood boil and your eyes, you start to see everything in shades of red. What else would you like to do? Fate has attempted to control your thoughts and strike you with magical fire for the past 2 turns.
Well, unfortunately, Fade's the only one I see, so he's... just pray I don't hit, dude. Actually, I might not hit this one. 16?
17.
Your shield deflects it out of the way. Are you using your shield right now?
Yep, shield, longsword.
Okay. So your shield just deflects it out of the way.
Alright.
You're surprised with how much strength he has behind it, because even after you deflect it, you can feel it in your arm.
Oh, and actually good. 10, so I missed both times.
The next blow, you just move to the left a little bit, and it crashes into the ground next to you.
Okay.
Fade, you're up.
I hit him. I tried to hit him.
Go for it. Make an attack roll.
Ten plus 5. 15.
Misses.
So you take a swing, and Avok takes it right on his axe and hits it, and he's just like, "Arr." Pure
I missed
rage
his step.
machine.
I misty step out of the room and start running.
Outside or into the hallway?
Into the hallway.
Okay.
Just past them and run.
Okay. You are now in kind of a maze-like area. Because there's various hallways and things like that. Before you were following someone, so now you'll have to rely on your memory to see if you can find your way back.
I'll just try to duck into a room
Okay.
with the door open.
Not incredibly difficult. There are tons of them. The room that you duck into, you realize is kind of similar to the other one. It's much smaller, only about 10 by 10. And as you look around, there's a bed, there's a small vanity. It's obviously a much less immaculate room, but someone would have lived here. Nothing in it right now other than the furniture. That brings us back to your friend. Your friend turns and whispers in your ear, "She looks so tired, doesn't she? She looks exhausted. Pick her up so she doesn't have to walk anymore."
Seems
And
right
she
to me.
points- And she points at Song. Elaine, you heard a kerfuffle in there, and the sound of whatever Misty Step sounds like when Fade uses it. And and now you've just heard a little bit of conversation that was very difficult for you to hear. What would you like to do, Elaine?
Was that window ground level or was it like?
Yeah, it's about 3-4 foot high. You know,
Oh, I can look into that.
yeah, relatively simple.
So
As you look in, you can see Avok standing there. The Cambion is just, the creature has just whispered something into his ear.
Champion.
I'm an awesome, awesome dungeon master.
you totally are. Yeah.
Different from what I thought it was.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. I tend to reskin monsters so people that are really familiar with them can't metagame even if they want to. So,
I'm not metagaming.
so
I just happen to be very knowledgeable of
I know.
monster manual stuff.
like I said, some metagaming is unconscious. You know, it's just because you are a very talented player. Anyway, Elaine, you see the creature there, and you see Avok, and you see Song just kind of standing there motionless. What would you like to do?
Gonna jump back in the room.
All right. Very easy for you to do. Takes about 15 feet of movement just to kind of get through the window itself.
Oh God.
And what would you like to do?
I would try crossbow the thing again,
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
and then I would jump back out. No.
Ting! Another portion of that door that just looks horrible. IKEA is very mad at you.
To make their instructions easier.
You jump out. You still have a bonus action. You've used most of your speed to kind of go in and out of this window because it is relatively high up.
I'm going to hide again.
Give me a stealth check.
21.
You think you're stealth.
20 something. 20 something. I can't math.
Avok, what would you like to do?
Just gonna do what she tells me, apparently. I'm gonna pick up Song.
Okay. I believe since you haven't made an attack, I think your rage will fade, correct?
Yep,
This
that's
turn?
fine.
Cool.
So you go over and you pick up Song. She doesn't resist. As you pick her up, even though her eyes are open, she feels limp. Like you pick her up and it's almost like you're picking up a sleeping, a sleeping person. She's limp in your arms. She's not resisting at all.
Okay.
All right. Next up is going to be Fade. You're outside. What would you like
Yep,
to do?
Cure wounds myself for minimum for 6 hit points, and then I will run into the hallway.
Okay.
I assume I can make it back towards them.
Yeah, you can make it back to the doorway.
Then I use a chill touch cantrip, targeting both the creature and Avok.
All right. Do you make attack rolls on that, or is it a save?
I make one attack roll, and then it bounces.
Use it for both of
because-
them. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So 12 plus 19.
19. That actually hits the creature. And Avok, does that hit you?
Yes, it does.
All right. Roll damage.
5 necrotic damage.
Now I have to do math. This is not that hard. It really isn't.
No. So my stuff was actually 25 because I'm dumb.
All right. And Avok, I need a wisdom saving throw from you.
Oh, thank God. Roll high, roll high, roll high. Big money, no whammies, big money, no whammies.
At 20.
Not 20, but close.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's a wisdom 19.
So as this ghostly hand comes over and grasps, it goes into your chest and feels like it actually grasps your heart. You scream out in pain. And then memories start flooding into you. You remember what actually happened on the pirate ship where you guys blew it up. You remember that you survived the battle on your own. And then as you look at this creature, it's no longer this very frail woman in robes. It is this very wicked-looking, very powerful woman wearing black scale mail, wielding a spear that looks like it has solidified fire as its tip, with wings and these wicked-looking horns. And you now realize that the actions that you have been taking recently were not of your own choosing.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Avok hit her. We're all gonna die.
As she sees that you are no longer listening to her, she turns to Fade and goes, "Fade, why have you hurt me so? Can't you see I'm your wife?"
Yo, hey, girl.
Wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, okay.
Is this a charm?
It is a charm effect.
Because I'm an Eladrin, and I'm not supposed to be able to be charmed.
I believe
But
you
I'll
just
do it.
have you have advantage against charmed effects, don't you?
Well, the first one is a nat 20. The second one is a 14.
You go, bitch, please get out of the way.
Yes!
You instantly recognize that she's using her innate abilities to attempt to influence your mind, and it does nothing to you. It does seem rather interesting because your detect magic would have been just fading around now, and it was not magical in nature, and that kind of like, that's interesting. I've never seen someone charm without magic. This
Sure.
is just innately part of her being. That's very cool. I should probably kill her.
The only logical thing to do.
Yeah.
And that is that's her turn.
Elaine, I think.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking it was your turn. I'm sorry. Elaine, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna hop back in. Because
Okay.
I guess I could hear that.
Oh yeah. You heard.
I know I heard Avok. I'll just Avok,
Now,
buddy, you back with us?
to just mention, because you were out of her sight, and were hidden, you would have advantage if you don't move into the room on any attack rolls you would make. Because you would basically be firing from stealth, and the wall itself is big enough for you to kind of come from a different angle, even though you're still shooting through the same window.
Okay, yeah. I'll do that. Stay outside the window and try and shoot her with the crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully roll higher than a 3. Oh wait, I have advantage though, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And I get sneak attack because like Avok's next to her.
Yep. And you have
Oh.
advantage, which would give you sneak attack as well.
Oh yeah. I'm just like Liam. I don't know what class I'm playing. The crossbow? No. 13.
All right, so you fire, ching. The door is just taking a beating.
Beautiful.
It's probably not going to survive. Next up goes to Avok.
That's
You
what
are
I'm about,
newly
actually.
Oh wait, you still have a bonus action. Did you want to do anything?
Can I go into the room and then try and hide in there?
There's not really anything you can hide behind in the room. And to be honest, now that you've attempted to fire through the window, she's probably not going to be as surprised next time. Simply because an attack has come from that window now.
No, I'm going to stay outside the window.
Okay. Now it is Avok. You are now fully in control of your faculties.
Not for long, because I'm now super pissed. I'm frenzy raging for the first time.
Go for it!
I don't care if I get exhausted. This bitch just pissed me off.
That's fine. I believe there are attacks involved in that.
Are you mad, bro?
Oh, she is getting it.
Go for it. It's 2 attacks this turn.
Don't I get a 3rd attack for being in frenzy mode?
You use your bonus action
That's right.
to rage.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, so 2 attacks this turn next time.
Next time.
Gotcha.
3.
Anyways, so 15 plus 8, 23 to hit her.
Definitely a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. And I should probably roll a con save for her.
Bitch better be bleeding. Damn it. Okay, 9 plus 1, 10 plus 4, 14. Oh, plus my rage. 16. I always forget the rage part.
Awesome. It cuts deep. You swing this magical great axe, cuts into her massively, rips away portions of her flesh. She doesn't seem to be bleeding heavily, though.
Okay. Ooh, I like that number. That is a 25 to hit.
Definitely a hit.
All right. Not as much damage, but it'll do. 9 damage.
All right, another big swing rips into her, does a lot of damage. She still doesn't seem to be bleeding out like Elaine was, but she definitely took it. She cries out in pain, looks at you with just hatred in her eyes.
Yeah, I meet that equally with burning fury.
Fade, what would you like to do?
Level 2, Cure Wounds, myself, again. 3, plus 6, plus 4, 13. And then I will try to Sacred Flame her.
Cure Wounds is an action.
Oh yeah, Misty Step was a bonus action. Okay, I'm done.
All right. So you see Fade, and you can see some of the wounds that you gave him have started to knit together magically. The creature itself turns to you and is pissed and strikes at you twice, Avok, with her spear.
Yeah, come at me.
12? It's 12.
Misses.
Okay.
No.
16?
It just hits.
All right, so you take 10 piercing damage, which your rage will half.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
And 1 fire damage, which your rage does not half.
Fair enough.
All right, and she looks pissed, especially since she can't seem to see the last target that she hasn't tried to charm yet.
Yeah, stay out of sight, Elaine.
Elaine, you're up.
Let me handle this bitch.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep you know what? I should be probably marking off my crossbow bolts. Is that like 3 hits I've missed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We haven't missed. You've just hit the door.
It's
That's what you're aiming for, right?
yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna crossbow the door again. I mean, her. See if this dice does better than a green one. Nope.
Oh, man.
I'm just gonna stay out. I'm just gonna, you know.
You're just gonna throw a picnic for yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay outside. Just lick my wounds.
All right. That brings us to Avok.
All right. 3 attacks.
Go for it. The rage has kind of fueled your entire being now. You can feel it strengthening your arms, making your muscles twitch faster than normal, giving you unnatural speed. What's your first attack?
21.
21 definitely hits.
All right.
And that time she fails.
12 plus.
Oh, actually, no, she
Uh,
doesn't.
No. First answer.
Sorry. So what'd you get?
18 for damage. That's the first hit.
All right. She is now bloodied and bleeding and just not looking good. The blood is not pouring out like it did with Elaine, but she looks rough.
Well, she better look rougher. 18 to hit.
Another hit, or that's a miss actually. So you bring it around, and she brings that spear around and just kind of traps your axe against the ground for a few seconds. You rip it back up and bring it around for another attack.
Oh, that bitch is gonna pay for that little dude. 22 to hit.
22 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Nice. 11 plus 4, 15 plus 2, 17.
She's now visibly starting to weaken a little bit. You can see her wings are drooping down a little bit. She looks really, really bad.
I always soften them up. Fade, killer. Or Elaine. Actually, yeah, Fade. You're next.
You're up.
Running up to her, going to try a melee spell attack,
Go for
which
it.
will be nat 20.
Yes!
Faye
Alright,
gets a
now
nat 20.
Now my melee spell attack was going to be inflict wounds, and at that level, it's 4d10. So let me just do the first 4.
Sap the life out of her.
So
Oh, dear God.
alright, so I run up to her, I do an uppercut for 38 points of necrotic damage with the first swing. And the second swing, overhand punch 24 down on her head.
How do you want to do this?
Just like that.
Okay. So Faye channels his inner monk. You see him come up, and you can see his hand is wreathed in indigo light. And as you see him come around, he sits there and he cold cocks her with an uppercut. And as he hits it, you can see like the reddish tint her skin has drains to this ghastly light. Ghastly white as his fist impacts it. You can see the energy just flows down his arm, and then he comes around and just looks at her, smiles, winks a little bit, and brings down his hands in a double slam. As it hits her skull, you can see her body itself convulses. Part of it actually gets drawn into his hands as he crushes her, and you can see the life force drain out of her as he hits her solidly. When she hits the ground, she looks like an emaciated corpse that's been there for months. Skin pulled taut, everything about her. And as the last bits of life are fading from her, you see her spit on the ground and turns to Fade and goes, "You bastard!" And then she turns over and looks at Song, and she goes, "Now, you never know where you come from, bitch!" And she dies.
I walk away, go pick up my sword and my shield, go help Elaine back in the window.
Hi. God.
And I snap out. And I'm exhausted. Ugh.
Avok, that took a ton out of you. You are so overwhelmed, and while you weren't in full control of your actions, you remember the rage that you felt, the pleasure that you felt as you ripped into your friend Elaine.
Yeah. Oh, God.
At this point, Song collapses.
I'm gonna grab that box. That music box.
And I walk over to Song, but like half-assed, as like I'm exhausted, so I'm like sort of. I pretty much wake up, like slap her on the face, like.
She's not she's not unconscious. She's just kind of collapsed from exhaustion, probably even more
Oh.
spent than you are. So she kind of looks up at you, and you can see tears running down her face, just absolutely flowing. And she doesn't speak, but she kind of looks at you, and having no one else near enough to her, she just kind of grabs onto you and weeps.
Okay, yeah, do what you gotta do, I guess. Anybody else want to comfort her? I'm not exactly in a pretty outfit right now.
Yeah, I'll go sit next to them.
After a couple minutes, she kind of regains her composure, and she's like, "Well, that was not fun, but..." And she kind of looks at you. She's like, "That was a necessity, and I'm fine now. It won't happen again. All right?" So, and she kind of just looks at you. She's like, "Don't get any ideas that meant anything. It's been a hard day." And she walks over to Elaine, and she takes the music box from you very gingerly, almost reverent to it, and she sequesters it in her pack. And you see her kind of wipe her eyes, and then she kind of composes herself and turns around. He's like, "So, what are we doing next?"
Taking a nap.
Oh, can I go check that corpse and see if that spear is usable?
Oh, good question.
I'm gonna sit down.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit. There was other things it could have done.
Too bad. So sad.
You get the idea that the spear itself, while very wicked looking, is actually a mundane spear that's just built very quickly. You think the additional fire damage was something that the creature itself could impose on it.
Okay.
Ow.
I go over to Elaine and touch her on the shoulder and give her some healing. For 9 plus 7, 16 hit points to Elaine.
16. Oh, much appreciated.
So
I'm out of
as
spells.
you go over to her and you put your hand on her shoulder, the lights turn out for you, Fade. And all noise around you stops.
Oh boy.
And again, you're in this very dark area. There's some sort of light on you, and everything outside of this very small, like 10-foot circle of light, you can't, or 5-foot circle of light, I'm sorry, you can't really tell. You know that there's something out there moving.
Hit the knee. Look down at the ground again.
Okay? You again feel that kind of warming presence come over you. And again, you start hearing whispers of words that you can't really pick out. And the whispers start getting louder, and they seem strange. They seem like a language that you've never heard before. And the more you hear them, the more kind of uncomfortable you start to feel. Not so much that they're making you feel uncomfortable, but that you're somehow doing something wrong. That's something you should be able to understand what it is that's happening right now, and you're not. And you just feel this ultimate guilt for no explicable reason. And as you sit there and the whispers get louder and louder and louder, you finally are able to hear one word. That you can actually pick out, that actually sounds familiar to you. And as soon as you hear that word, everything is back. You're healing Elaine. Nothing seems to have affected the other two people.
I legitimately got chills, so good job. Okay.
All right.
I have nothing to tell anyone.
So you're back in the area you were in before. Again, you guys are kind of in a corner of the keep now, and you've just killed someone. You have no idea if this person had anything to do with Corin or not. You didn't really leave much chance for any interrogation, unless you also happen to have a speak with dead spell in there somewhere.
I almost wrote it down today.
So, what would you guys like to do?
Okay. Can we just chill for a bit? I need to catch my breath.
Is there a door to this room? Is this a door that had, or a room that had a door?
Many of my
Yeah.
crossbow bolts are in that door.
There used to be an incredibly beautiful door. It is now a somewhat beautiful door with holes in it.
I close the door, put my back on it, and like slide to the ground and
Okay.
just try to take a nap because I got nothing left.
All right. Do you guys want to attempt to take a short rest or a long rest? There is a bed here. Like you are in a bedroom. And a rather immaculate one at that.
Pretty sure Song is going to clean the bed no matter what.
Yeah.
She's probably gonna like carry Elaine to the bed.
She's already there. Like she's not even worrying about Elaine at this point. She's already in the bed. And she hasn't really made any room for anyone else. She's like spread out. She's rearranged the pillows that are covered in dust. Doesn't care at this point. It's the first taste of luxury she's had in a very long time.
Shove her over. Like, no. Sharing this bed today.
Alright,
Big spoon, little spoon.
If only she was here, this would be an incredible role-playing opportunity.
seriously,
No, I'm putting my back to hers.
I'm going to take watch for a couple hours if we're going to take a long rest. And just alter.
We have to. Yeah, that's the plan.
All right. First watch is going to be Avok.
Yeah.
I only need the 4 hours, so I'll take the second or the third and fourth.
Okay. So, Avok, I need you to make a perception check with disadvantage.
Yeah,
due to
because
your exhaustion.
Yep. Oh, that really sucks. 7.
You are very much kind of in your own head during your entire watch. You're very much upset over what happened. The fact that someone was basically able to take over your mind and make you do things that you didn't want to is really weighing heavily on you.
Yeah. I don't like when people take control of me.
So that's the only thing that you do. You don't even notice the room around you during your watch. Luckily for you, nothing happens during your watch. Anyone taking second watch?
I'm gonna wake up Elaine and have him take the second watch, and then Fate will finish it off with the last.
Elaine, you don't get a choice.
Okay.
Perception check.
Oh, God, I can't roll today. 10.
All right. So you sitting there, you don't really notice any movement outside the door. Nothing really happens during your watch. You're able to go and wake up Fade from his trance. Fade, I need 2 perception checks from you.
First one, total 11. Second one, 19.
So your trance has really kind of rejuvenated you, and as you kind of look around, not a whole lot happens. Yeah, you don't notice anything. There's no movement outside the door. You may just be in a portion of the castle that Corin doesn't care about, or a million different things. You're not sure, but no one came to check on you.
Okay. This whole time I'm. No, that's fine. Okay.
Okay.
I wake him up.
Everybody's awake.
That's much better.
I look at Avok and I tell him, "It's your call from here on." And then to myself, I'm just thinking about why I can't understand this thing. I'm just like preoccupied to the point of distraction.
Okay.
Well, I said it before and I'll say again. I am not leaving here until that fucker is dead and my brother is back. So let's go.
Song has resumed her silent protagonist act. So, what do you guys want to do? You're in a technically you're in an unknown part of the castle. All of you got here by following Song, and Song doesn't remember how she got here.
Would it be possible for us to remember our sense of
Roll
direction?
a history check.
History check.
Shit. Of course, this is just a straight D20.
I don't know where the frick we are, guys.
Which turns out pretty good. 19.
19, not bad. Anyone higher than a 19?
Nope.
Fade gets a nat 1. Brilliant. Elaine, what'd you get?
An 8.
So Fade and Elaine, one hallway looks like the next. You guys have no idea. Avok, you kind of go back through your head. Again, being familiar with moving through unfamiliar territory, you kind of retrace your steps mentally, and you start picking your way through hallways, trying to follow the same path that you followed out there. Not succeeding entirely. You do, every so often you will come to a dead end that you don't remember running into before, and you'll kind of retrace your steps back and keep on moving. After about an hour and a half, you're able to get back to the large or the T hallway that you guys were in before. You can see that kind of maze of corridors and stuff like that is on the south side of this T hallway. On the north side, it looks like there's another hallway that leads into another part of the castle. You have no idea what's down there, but it's completely disconnected from the maze of corridors that you just went down.
Oh, let's go find out what's down there.
All right. So as you guys start going down, you come to a fairly open room, and all of you instantly have to cover your noses from just the smell emanating from this room. As you look around, Fade, you know this smell. You know this smell very well, and you also know that it doesn't get any better. Like, this smell gets worse the further you go into this room because you've had to deal with this before. As you guys look around, this is the first part of the castle that has any sort of light. But the light itself is coming from, some of them are from ever-burning candles that are set up on workstations. Some of it is coming from things that are in this room, like devices and things like that give off pale arcane glows. You guys can see all around the room are various cages and boxes and things like that, some of them have creatures in them, some that you recognize parts of. Others have just piles of slime and goop. Other ones just have pieces of creatures, some of which you recognize. The smell of decaying flesh is almost overwhelming. But another thing that you notice as you walk in is that there is movement in this room. At each of the different stations, you can see the various devices and alchemical pieces and things like that are moving as if someone is there using them. And as you stare closer, every so often you'll see a ghostly figure moving things at one of these stations, and then they'll become translucent again. Every so often you'll see a ghostly figure just kind of walk through and then fade again, though you can still see where they're moving.
I look up, see this, and I'm freaked out, so I go try to stand in the path of one of these things.
The creature walks directly up to you, turns, and walks around you. Not aggressive in any way, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be stopped.
Okay.
If anyone would like to try and figure out what's going on, they could roll an Arcana check.
Yep.
I was like, why not? No.
15 to figure out what they are doing.
You're not 100% sure the experiments that they're carrying out, but you've seen similar experiments before in your former life. They're testing different effects on dead tissue. And you've seen this spell before. This is the Unseen Servant spell. It's a level 1 spell. Most Eladrin learn a ritual form of this spell simply because they can't be expected to do their own work. Like, that's preposterous. That's what these guys are for. They are not intelligent creatures. They perform very simple, specific tasks. You've never seen this many active at once.
Yeah, what are we talking number-wise?
Probably close to a dozen, maybe 2 dozen. Like, this is a large, large room. And not all of them are performing experiments. Some of them are cleaning up the refuse. Some of them are cleaning the various devices and, resetting them for future experiments. But they're all just doing the busy work that you used to despise doing. There's experimentation that requires, thought and talent, and then there's busy work, setting up the experiments, actually running trials of different things, the boring stuff. That's what they're doing.
So there are corpses, you said, laying around being...
Yeah. Various body parts. You can see in some of the cages, some of the smaller cages, there are complete creatures. None of them look like they are 100% something that you identify, but some of them do look like they're alive.
Can I go try to talk to some of the, I think
Sure.
they're alive things?
Sure.
I'll go up to one of these cages and say hello.
So you walk up to it. You notice the creature itself doesn't really seem responsive as you kind of look into its eyes. You think at one point this might have been an orc or a half-orc, something similar to that, because you can see tusks and things like that on it. and kind of the more grayish green skin tone that you're used to seeing with creatures along that line. However, you can see one of its arms is completely missing, and it just ends in right at the shoulder. It just is sheared off. There's no scar, there's no nothing, it's just there's no arm there. You can see the other arm doesn't look orcish. It looks like a very emaciated, more humanoid arm. It might have, it looks very, very delicate. It might have belonged to maybe a wood elf, but it is covered in scars along the entire thing, and it looks almost like the corpse that you left of the Cambion, where it's been drained of a lot of its life force. As you kind of look into the eyes of the creature, they're completely dilated and unfocused. And as you try and say stuff to them, nothing gets through. It seems like it doesn't even know that you're there.
I would like to investigate this room and see if there are any devices or tools that I think would be helpful in repelling necromantic energy.
Nothing in here really designed to repel necromancy, but the setup itself is very familiar to you. If you wanted to, you could continue the experiments that you were doing before you started. Like, this is a fully stocked magical lab, basically. And you could find just about anything that you would want to. Devices that are meant to measure magical energy, devices that are meant to focus magic energy for specific things. Like, this is a smorgasbord of devices that would be used to do magical experimentation.
Okay, then I would like to specifically look for a focusing device to enhance my animate dead spell.
None of the devices are specifically designed to enhance specific spells. They more of take necromantic energy and focus it into a certain object.
Okay.
Fade, are you done wasting time?
I nod. I don't respond.
Can you feel the love tonight? What would you guys like to do? The room itself is relatively large. Probably the same size as the entire maze of corridors you guys just came from. Like, this entire wing of this keep is just one large room.
So disgusting.
So what would you guys like to do?
Find a way out of the... Well, just look for the door that goes further into the...
You guys can see, again, the room is dimly lit. So you can't see more than about 60 feet in any direction. You can see one of the walls that you assume borders the outside. Has no, like, there are no windows in this entire room. You can see where you think windows used to be that have been bricked up. This whole area has been designed to have no natural light in it. You see in the rest of the room doorways that look like they no longer go anywhere. They've either been boarded up or things have been stacked in front of them, making them impossible to access. Things that are like attached to the floor have been made impossible to access. As you wander around the room and see more of these experiments going on, you eventually get to the other end after about 10-15 minutes. And you can see this entire area. There's only one real way in and out of it, which is the way that you came.
I look at everyone and say, don't freak out. And I go over to a pile of bones and I try to create a skeleton.
Okay. Is this using Animate Dead, I'm assuming?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I actually don't remember how that spell works. How long does that last?
24 hours.
Okay. So you are able to find ample bones. Like, they are everywhere. Most of them still have flesh on them. So
I'd rather have a zombie then.
can you do that as well?
It's either or.
Well, it's up to you. Skeleton or
Zombie.
All right.
Zombie.
So you guys see him start focusing, and you can see bits and pieces of a creature start to pull themselves together, and they start to slowly knit, and this creature raises up and kind of reaches up and moves and shifts and kind of goes up to Fade and goes,
No talking. Shh. Follow.
and he kind of gets in line behind Fade.
God. Seriously. It's so disgusting.
Starts to move over towards Avok.
Come closer, you're gonna get your head chopped off.
It doesn't really seem to understand you. It just knows that you're talking.
Let's go.
It does understand Fade. It turns around.
Okay. So clearly, this is another dead end.
Fade, due to the fact that these body parts have been experimented on and infused with energy, attack rolls and damage rolls for this zombie have a +1 to them.
Okay.
And they count as magical.
Nice.
I really want this to be a main character now.
Kill the girl.
Oh, God. That's it's pretty much the Gurn of our group.
Body Fatty Arbuckle. So, what do you guys want to do? You're in a big old room. Big old room. Lots of dead things. Something that used to be dead that is no longer. As you animate the skeleton or the zombie, you do notice a few of the unseen servants come over and attempt to lead the zombie away to various stations. But it doesn't listen to them because, again, it's yours. As you notice that one is kind of insistent on it and keeps attempting to kind of pull it and push it, and eventually, as it tries further, it just winks out of existence.
Fine by me. I try usher it and myself out of the room as to not draw
As you
more.
start walking around, you start noticing more of these creatures wink out, and then it'll and eventually, some of them are still holding items that drop to the floor and crash and break. And all of the creatures in here, all of the unseen servants, vanish.
I think I pissed off Corn, guys.
And
That's what we want.
Clearly.
as that happens, you guys can see a couple of the creatures that were kind of zombie, zoned out, not doing anything, start to make noises that they haven't the entire time you've been in here. And the cages themselves that they're stuck in start to open. What would you guys like to do?
Great. Looks like Horan's having his fun again. Well, these guys can't be that tough. Let's go.
Should we just try to leave since we were
It's-
already on our way out?
Up to you. You're relatively close to the door. You can attempt to leave.
We're gonna keep walking toward the door.
Yeah, we're gonna try
Elaine
to
keeps
usher
on
ourselves.
going. Avok looks upset.
You guys suck.
Close the door behind you, Avok.
I slammed the door shut.
You can hear movement from the other side of the door.
Okay.
Your
Well,
personal zombie goes,
Shut up.
You see it move its hand up in a very kind of jerky, awkward manner, and then 3 of its fingers curl down.
I rip the middle one off. No. I make it rip its middle finger off.
And it looks, and it gives it to you.
You can have this back if you're good.
Please keep this on me. Oh, name him now.
You guys are back in the tea hallway. On this side of the tea hallway, you're relatively certain one side of it is quarters of rooms. The other side is just that massive, lab. You guys haven't been down the other direction yet.
We're about to be. Let's go.
Yep.
I cast a light on Avok's battle axe, if he lets me.
Yeah, why not?
Your axe is glowing.
Pretty cool, huh? Huh?
Bright.
Pretty cool.
I'll give you this. I'll give you this.
Bright blue light. Looks kind of cool. You start kind of shining it around. It's kind of that, violet ultralight color. You shine it on the walls. You see little, things you couldn't see before. Apparently other things have happened in this building as well.
Oh, God.
You guys wander down the other hallway, and that is where we're going to stop for tonight. So, thank you to everybody that tuned in today. I had fun. Not so sure about the party itself, but I had a blast.
It was all right.
If you're currently watching and you missed any parts of the episode, I do upload these to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/trainerjody. Feel free to follow me here on Twitch. I run this adventure the first and third Tuesdays of every month. Yeah, if you want to find out more about what happens to the group, find out exactly what was going on with Song, or the crazy shit that's going on with Fade and the mystery thing in the darkness, please tune in for the next episode. It will be, I think, May 3rd.
Day before my
There we go.
birthday.
May 3rd. Oh, and you can wish Avok a happy birthday. I mean, that you have to show up now. Beyond that, feel free to follow me on Twitter, because I always talk about this stuff. Otherwise, that's all for me today, and I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow on my YouTube channel for some random vlogging. All right? Bye-bye!